And studies suggest a huge workforce, maybe over 14,000 people, peaking at 40,000, could have done it in about 10 years.
Which sounds fast, but it means placing what, like 3 blocks per minute for 10-hour workdays? Nonstop.
That's an incredible pace.
The conventional understanding involves, copper chisels, pounding stones, diorite pounders, usually maybe bronze saws, and using water and sand as abrasives. That's how they'd cut and polish even hard granite.
And researchers have studied tool marks extensively to try and figure this out.
Yes, they have. Yet, the level of precision you see in some artifacts, like granite sarcophagi or certain blocks, they're described as cut within microns of accuracy
Microns with copper tools.
and polished completely flat with fitted lid. It just continues to baffle many experts. Think about the immense effort, the sheer time required to grind away even a tiny amount of incredibly hard stone like granite or diorite with manual tools.
It would literally take days of effort for a very small result.
Exactly. So this degree of exactitude often feels, well, disproportionate to the proposed toolkit.
This precision certainly fuels the debates, doesn't it?
It really does.
While traditional archaeology explains a lot, you have these observations of drill holes and smooth saw marks that some sources describe as looking like almost machine-polished surfaces.
Wow.
And that sparks questions about technologies maybe not fully understood. We also frequently hear about the geopolymer theory.
Ah, yes. The idea that some stones were actually cast, like artificial concrete.
What's the thinking there?
Well, the geopolymer theory posits that some stones, maybe particularly in the pyramid's outer casing layers, weren't quarried stone, but a form of poured artificial concrete.
If that were widely true,
Wow.
it wouldn't just explain the precision you see. It would point to an entirely different industrial scale, a chemical sophistication in the ancient world that would force a major reevaluation of their technological baseline.
But what's the counter-argument?
The main counter is the distinct lack of evidence for the infrastructure needed for such a process on that scale. Where are the giant grinders, the kilns, the mills, if they were turning vast quantities of limestone into, effectively, cement?
Good point. We know ancient Egyptians did use a primitive form of gypsum mortar, but in very small amounts, mainly as a lubricant or filler, which doesn't really align with a massive concrete casting operation.
And we do have lots of evidence for quarries and transport methods like barges on the Nile.